Welcome everybody to It Tastes Different Game Reviews. Today we are reviewing Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that is. Shredders Revenge. It was released June 16th of 2022. It is developed by Tribute Games, adapted from the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, released on pretty much everything. And prices will vary. Just keep that in mind. It is also on Game Pass if you have that. PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, PC. It's pretty much everywhere. And Switch. It is a 6-player co-op love tribute to the original Ninja Turtles with a little bit extra. So before I even give a spew of my thoughts, let's jump to Nick. Nick, since you look the most like Master Splinter, I'm going to let you go first.
Teamwork. Yeah, this game is a lot of fun. It is kind of like the old beat 'em ups, like Turtles in Time, games kind of like that in that sort of sense, and kind of like the old cartoon. It still has the same intro as the cartoons back in the 90s. But that kind of follows the same intro with the same intro, sort of the same intro music. Everything's updated and different, but it's kind of is a tribute to that type of stuff. And the gameplay is a lot of fun. It's like you said, a 6-player co-op. You got all 4 turtles. You got Master Splinter, April O'Neil, and then Casey Jones, that you can unlock and play as well. You got a story mode and an arcade mode, and all of these can be played with your friends or randoms or whatever. It's in the same sense of those beat 'em ups, Turtles in Time back in the day. It's kind of very reminiscent of that, graphically and just how the way it plays and everything. It plays very well. I think the game is pretty responsive, and I think that the level design and everything is really cool. They have that story mode where you have they introduce other characters from Ninja Turtles into the game, like the Punk Frogs and some of the other characters, side characters, Vernon and everything like that. That you can do like optional collectible side quests with in this kind of overworld map and stuff like that. And they try to introduce a lot of the different turtle vehicles and various things. So there's kind of a lot of nostalgia going on in this game. But ultimately, it's a really fun game. The only thing that I have that I'm sure they can fix is there is some co-op issues with the game not. I don't know. We were having some issues with like certain levels. They would load it. I was hosting, so for me everything was fine. But for these two, and they can kind of go in and explain a little bit more. Sometimes they would come in and they weren't able to play, and they would have to leave and come back, or we would have to exit to the map and go back into the level. And that happened quite often. Other than that, those things aside, I think it's a really great game. And I'm sure that's just some bug fixes that they can fix. But ultimately, it was really good. What do you think? What about you, Pat?
Yep, it was definitely to stroll down memory lane, right? It reminds me of playing the Ninja Turtles games, the arcade, with your friends. Thankfully, there's no water level, which there wasn't in the arcade anyway. That was mostly the Nintendo version. But, it was kind of interesting the way they did the 2 modes, the story mode versus the arcade mode. I kind of like that. Arcade mode was basically like limited lives. You got to run through it in one sitting. That's it. There's no saving. There's no checkpoints. There's no nothing yet. You got each person gets so many saves or 1-ups, And then the story mode was really cool because it kind of added a little bit of an RPG element to it, because it has like every turtle has stats, a range, a speed, and a power. And then you also get level up. You level up as you go through getting points, and you can get things like extra life, more ultimates, and then the ultimate after a while. And, and it's cool things like that. Each turtle has like their own unique super move. And then they also have taunts, which is kind of funny. And the taunts allow you, once you taunt, if you hit them right after you get a taunt, it like fills up your super meter like super quick if you do that. So it's kind of cool, and there's collectibles in there that help you get points to help you level up faster. Overall, it was a pretty good game. I enjoyed it. I mean, the arcade mode, we would have all beaten it as a group if it didn't bug out on us the last 2 missions to where it kicked Shane and I couldn't play. So Nick got to finish the game by himself, in the last two arcade. But in the story mode, we all completed together, which is fun. It's what I look forward to in a Turtles game is a lot of co-op. We need like 3 more friends so we could see what a 6-player mess the map would be. I mean, is 3 players enough? Sometimes I was getting lost, like, oh, I'm looking at the wrong turtle, or I'm looking at the wrong this or that. But I mean, it was still fun, It wasn't too bad. I guess we could jack the difficulty up and then really see how it goes. But overall, fun game. Not too overly expensive if you don't have Game Pass. So, if you're a fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and you like the old arcade style games and you got a couple of friends, even if you don't got any friends, you can play by yourself. It's still a good game. What about you, Shane? What do you think, man?
It hit all the right buttons. It really did. The intro music was spot on. The animation was spot on. Not that new Nickelodeon turd that they got out where they all look like they're mutants, but they're inbred mutants. We're talking the classic 90s Turtles. So I loved it. Absolutely loved it. The gameplay, like Nick said, I mean, it was tight. It worked like it should. It played more like the classic than I was expecting, which was a good thing. They didn't do a whole lot of, we're going to change this, change that just for the sake of change. They kept it fairly original for the overall. And like Pat said, they added some stat stuff, which was nice. Very nice touch. And only way I could be happier is they would fix the connection issues. Nick would fire up a level. It would load up, but me or Pat, it wouldn't load us in. We could watch Nick fight ghost things, or Nick would be the ghost or whatnot. But once we were in the game, it was pretty solid overall. There was some randomness of enemies not showing up for them, but it would show up for me. They sat there and watched me beat the wall up for 2-3 minutes just trying to get a 250 hit streak so I could get the achievement. I mean, they just thought I was swinging in midair, but on my screen, I saw a big old mouser just not moving, and I pelted him for 2-3 minutes straight. So there is some technical issues with the multiplayer, but it's not broken enough. It's hard to say it's not broken enough to not play it, because when it works great. But there is some serious connection issues at times. So that's pretty iffy on saying, yeah, it's perfect, but it's not perfect. The game is definite homage. They did a great job. I wish they would have had voice acting in it, more voice acting. There's a few lines you get from, I believe it was just Shredder and I think a couple others, but I would love to have seen the original turtle voices come back. That would have been awesome. So maybe for the sequel, we could get that, from the old 90s cartoon, but I'm happy. I'm a very happy boy.
I thought this was voiced by the 1987 actors.
Yeah, but it wasn't like all new dialogue or anything. They just threw a few voices at it here and there. It wasn't like a dialogue thing, like
and the cutscenes weren't voice acted either.
All right.
Exactly.
But the voices from the Turtles and stuff and April and all them are supposedly from the 1987 actors. Like I don't know if they repulled, but they just said that basically the actors reprised their roles, so they had to pull them back in for some new dialogue.
They may have, but it wasn't enough of it, and that that might just be me being desperate for 30 years ago to my childhood jumping back at me. But I
would like to watch the 1980s Ninja Turtles with the voice actors from that again, if they remade them with the same graphics and not I can't stand the new Turtles neither. They look weird.
Oh yeah. Just it's not right, man. It's just not right. These are the same people that ruined the Teen Titans too. So what do you expect? But the game is fantastic. It's on Game Pass. The pricing on it's a little odd. PlayStation and Xbox was 25, and then I believe what was it? Steam had it for 35, or was it Amazon had it for 35?
No, any digital version is 25. If you want physical,
it's a physical.
it's 35.
Sorry, yeah, physical is $35 to $40. We saw so, which sucks because I'd love to have the physical copy. I really would, but it's it's just fine for me on Game Pass. It's definitely worth the money. So
I only do physical if it was Steelbook.
Yeah, Steelbook Ninja Turtle one could be really freaking cool. But besides the technical issues with the connections, Pat, did you have any other problems with it?
No, I think the biggest thing was the technical issues and sometimes the bugged out enemies. And what I mean by bugged out enemies is I think I played a whole map when we're on the flying skateboards. Yes. There was a dead guy on my screen the entire time, just hanging out in the back. Every now and then kicking me, go to the other side of the screen, but he was dead. I mean, he's laying on his back on his board just the whole time, just and I'd hit him, he'd go to the other side of the screen, or just weird stuff like that. But outside of that, the main issue was just the start of every map. It would decide if it was going to load me in or not. If it didn't load me in, then all I could see is enemies getting their butts whooped by invisible turtles or whoever we were playing. But you couldn't progress on any of the maps that made you run forward because they couldn't move forward because I was stuck in the corner. So, we found that most of the time you could just leave, go to the main menu and rejoin your friend's game. But when we were almost at the end of the arcade mode, 2 levels to go, it decided to crap out, and Shane and I both couldn't see each other, got out, got back. We could never get back in after that. So Nick had to beat the game by himself.
And look how disappointed he is.
Yeah, I think it's kind of cool. They have like end game stats that are kind of funny, like who ran the most, who meditated the most. And I'm like, I think meditated the most was like who went down the most because there's no meditating in the game. So I was or maybe that meant who was like non-active the most or something. I don't know what it was.
Yeah. Shredder meditated. That was his taunt. So I wonder if that had anything to do with it. But
I don't know. But yeah, it has stats like that or who ran the most, just dumb stats at the end. That's kind of funny. And then, the whole combat is just straight up side scroll and beat 'em up, which is just great for Ninja Turtles. Makes a great game. I wish it was a little bit longer, but for $25 to $20, what do you expect, right? I mean, it's 16 levels, I think. Yeah, 16 levels. And every level has like hidden items in it, challenges. And some of the challenges are pretty damn tough. So,
yeah. They brought back the world map too, the city map, which was a nice touch. Nick was our driver, and tell him about the map and how cool it was.
The map's cool. It's New York.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed with the map just because the map looked a lot bigger than what the actual gameplay was, because the gameplay on the streets, it was 16 missions, but you got to see a whole lot of outside New York a little bit. And it's like, all right, there's going to be something else, but there wasn't. So I think it's because I wanted more gameplay.
Yeah, the world map is really unnecessary. I understand why they have it there for the story mode, and that's mainly for the collectibles, right? So you have those offbeat paths that you can go back to. You can also go back to any level you want. For me, I once we played the story mode, I would definitely experience the story mode just to kind of experience the world map and that whole structure. But for me, like if I want to go back and play this game, arcade mode is probably where I would want to play it the most. I like the back-to-back levels without a world map or kind of like an intermission in between. So once we started playing that, I was like, I kind of like this setup a little bit better. But definitely if it's your first time playing through the game, I would recommend story mode, and then maybe after that, then maybe arcade after that.
I would say the only thing I really missed in the arcade mode was the level up abilities. Like I like being able to bank a couple of supers up, super attacks, and then just unleash them, or get the ultimate super attack. And I'm like, oh, this is so nice, So, I mean, for that part, that was pretty good. I mean, we barely used any extra lives, so that really wasn't a help. The health thing was kind of nice, health boost, but the only thing I really missed in there was the extra, like I could bank 2 or 3 supers up and just like railroad the supers towards the end, like 2 or 3, get 2 or 3 shots off on the boss real quick.
Yeah, definitely. And, I liked some of the achievements, cut you off guard. Like there was the breaking one, or getting hit while you're doing your taunt, just silly things like that. We found most of the achievements that we got just by accident, just by doing silly crap or whatever. So, and it's just a fun game to get in there with your buddies and just cut jokes and, beat the crap out of yellow and purple and red and black ninjas all over the place. And, they had all the classic villains in it. It was great. It really was great. One thing they should do is a DLC pack where you got to beat the crap out of Vanilla Ice. Like you get on the stage and as soon as he goes, go ninja, go, you just jump through a wall and kick him in the face. That was the worst part of Ninja Turtles.
Oh, dude, nah, what's wrong with you? Come on.
I hate Vanilla Ice.
Oh, my God. I love that whole bar fight scene with Toka and Razor with the donuts and stuff, and
yeah, that part was good. Just the whole Vanilla Ice thing could have went. I mean, they could have.
Oh, dude, that was like the best song for that. Come on now. That was like the best song for that freaking thing. Come on.
Next time, bring in somebody cool like Marky Mark or MC Hammer.
What's he going to sing? What are they going to sing? Hammer Time?
Well, I mean, at the time, Vanilla Ice was, Vanilla Ice was big. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was huge. And if you don't know who Vanilla Ice is, congratulations. Your life is better for not knowing. But
that means you missed the greatest movie of all time, the Ninja Turtles movie. Sorry, but
that's probably true. Better. That's probably true. Yeah, you got to watch Secret of the Ooze, people. But no, the game's great. I was really surprised by it. I mean, besides the technical flaws, no complaints. And was it worth the $25 if you would have bought it without Game Pass? Yes, by far, yes. Yeah. You guys have anything else you want to say about this, or you just want to go ninja, go?
Nope. Go ninja, go. You can't. That's a good song. It's great and great part of the ending for that movie. I'm sorry, but even as much as you hate Vanilla Ice, that was like a perfect song for that movie.
What about you, Nick? Anything else?
Cowabunga.
All right. Well, thanks for listening as always. Make sure you hit like, share, and subscribe. Hit those notifications. Tell us your thoughts and feedbacks if you've played the game already or if you're kind of on the fence. Let us know what you think about 6-player if you've been able to play it, because 3-player was hard enough for me to keep up when we were all being the turtles. So 6-player has got to be just freaking mayhem. So let us know what you think about that. And thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time. See ya.